Yeah, it seems like you get lumped into this kind of group of people that are, and there isn't really, it's really was coffee, you, and now there's a few spin-off people who are kind of filling the shoes of you now that you're kind of stepped away from that. But I don't think you're that guy.
You're not that guy, pal.
I don't think you're the guy that's
so
kinda,
I think there's different ways to do this. So CoffeeZilla is an internet detective. He stuck to that ethos from the start, and I think he's nailed it. He plays that persona really, really well. He's doubled down, and that's why his path has been so successful. So if you want to be that guy, that path can work. But you got to be all in on research. Your entire life has to be not making friends or allies in this business. Like you're just this like rogue journalist that when a story comes out, you can't have any ties to anything. You're an internet detective, so all you look for is the truth, and you're willing to spend 2 weeks digging into a story to find the most granular level detail. If that's your life, I think you can win that path. My path was somewhere in the middle where it's like I can write stories, I can be a storyteller, I can have this idea of uncovering, but at the same time, I don't have to spend weeks diving into people's lives. And then you have the new path, which is just with the worst intentions. I'm going to take someone that I know has a good reputation, and I'm just going to attack them with no journalistic integrity.
and you're seeing that happen right now.
Yeah, I think this was a worry of mine. This was a concern of mine. I was talking about it months ago with a few of our mutual friends, and I was saying I think the next wave of exposed channels is going to be targeting the good guys because all of the easy targets have already been gone after. Like if you made a video about Tai Lopez today, it doesn't get any views because no one cares. Even though he's still relevant, he's still reasonably relevant, he's still got a name. So you can't really punch the low-hanging fruit, which is kind of what we did, to be fair, because they hadn't had videos made about them. So, but after 2 years of making videos about a lot of people that are already publicly known as kind of having a lower than average reputation, for lack of a better word, you can't make videos on those people because it won't get views. So who do you target? You either have to go the journalistic route like CoffeeZilla, which is make crazy amounts of effort into research and production, which I understand when you're first starting out, you don't have those resources. So the easiest target is just the easiest path is just targeting someone who has a good reputation. You just make them look bad. That's basically the TMZ route. Like, oh, gotcha. Like, turn on the camera, gotcha.
Yeah, that's caught you. So you're in a lawsuit, and
yeah.
And do you think that, rather, how did that affect your pivoting and kind of changing structure?
I think it was incredibly important for a couple of reasons. One is that it messed with me mentally. Like my mental health has been really bad for a long time because of it, and so that certainly played a role. As you make videos on these like fake gurus, you're always at risk of getting sued. So when it happens, you see how damaging it is. It's certainly going to change your path or change your interests for sure. Another one is just the fact that I haven't been able to invest in my content like I had hoped. And so I've actually stayed in this niche probably longer than I could have imagined. So you want to know a funny story? I have a guy working on my logo and brand for my second channel that I'll be spinning up. And I was looking at our messages on LinkedIn. And in October of 2020, I was messaging him about the idea of starting a house hacking course because I was like, I don't want to be in this like exposed space forever. I don't really want to do fake gurus that much longer. This was October of 2020. Now, that doesn't mean I didn't enjoy what I did. Like 2021, 2021, everything's good. However, I probably would have pivoted way sooner to just different style content had I had the resources. But I'm out almost $250,000, which for me is a significant amount of money to this point for the lawsuit. And so if you picture that money being in my pocket, like I imagine I would have pivoted sooner into like different style, or I would have doubled down on YouTube and invested in the content. So yeah, it's been incredibly damaging in more ways than one.
What was the story of that lawsuit? How did it even come up?
I released the videos in question December 20th, and then another one December 2020, 2 videos in December 2020, and then one in February 2021. So this is a significant long time ago. This is like, as a creator, this is like a previous version of me. So it feels so weird with videos that are still harming me to this day. But yeah, there was just videos that I posted about a guy where I interviewed someone who knew the guy and was a credible source. He knew a lot about this individual. And so I interviewed him, and then he said all the things about the guy who eventually sued me.
That was the first video.
Yeah, the first video.
Okay.
Yeah. So, well, there were 2 videos where I interviewed him. And we chopped it up. Yeah, we chopped it up in 2. Yeah, part 1 and part 2. And then there was a third video where I did this funny, it was like clearly a joke, this Charlatan of the Year awards right at the end of the year 2020. And I nominated this guy for an award. And it was clearly a joke, but he, of course, included that in the lawsuit.
Wow.
Yeah.
Dude, and what's this guy claiming?
Defamation mostly. So you also have a Lanham Act, which is a federal claim. A Lanham Act is basically unfair competition. So if you're a car dealer in town and I'm a car dealer, if I started running advertisements saying you were ugly adjective and all these things that are false about you, come shop at my car dealership, not Dylan's, because I don't do all these ugly things to people, right? If that's defamation or defamatory or false, that's unfair competition, because of course people are going to start shopping with me because you do all these ugly things to your clients. So that's the Lanham Act. So he's claiming the Lanham Act as well as defamation.
That you defamed him to go sell your course on the same thing.
Exactly. Yeah, we think it's a weak claim, but we'll see what the judge thinks.
You're hopeful?
Very hopeful. I'm very optimistic.
Okay.
Yeah, our final filing is on March 20th, which is essentially a week from today. I cannot wait.